Now, if you live and work in Johannesburg, you'll be relieved to hear this. Repairs to Johannesburg's M2 highway are nearing completion. Traffic flow has been affected since major roads leading to the M2 bridge were closed off in February this year. Authorities have been repairing substantial structural defects, and they're supposed to finish their work in October. Let's check in. Our reporter Kailehle Khumalo is there with all the latest. Kaya, you'll remember, all of us remember, if we live and work in Joburg, that announcement in February of just how traffic would be affected by this restructure, but it is so very necessary.
Well, certainly, Michelle, but also now, more importantly, we just got an opportunity as well of speaking to the Johannesburg Metro Police just in terms of how their programs are working out, in terms of the alternative routes, making sure that the road users are not really severely affected. So the JMPD is very adamant about their programs. There were also concerns around crime, particularly the spike of crime along some alternative routes. So where we are standing, Michelle, it's one of the alternative routes. So they said it was really necessary to undergo this particular refurbishment because they were talking about some structural defects that were mainly caused by the water seepages that were really just getting into the structure. So they had to really be very precautious and really making sure that they don't wait for the structure to eventually collapse, but really be very proactive in making sure that they address the issue.
So the end of October, that's meant to be the deadline. Are we on track?
Well, according to the very latest word we got from GRA, they are saying everything is on track. They've been working so hard in making sure that they complete this particular project. But also, more importantly, Michelle, we know that in Johannesburg you have about 900 bridges, but only about 6% of the 900 really do comply to the safety measures and standards. So it's a great concern for the city of Johannesburg. But also, more importantly, they have a background of about 170 billion rands. So that's a very staggering figure. So they're really working so hard in making sure that they address some of the shortfalls that they have. So come October, the word is this particular structure will be completed.
And Kaya, does that mean that there is hope for the very many bridges around the city as well? Or do we not have the budget for that?
Well, it's a very interesting argument, Michelle. It's a matter of funds. So there is an issue of shortage of funds. So if you have about 903 bridges and only about 6% really do comply with the safety standard, it's a great concern for the city of Johannesburg. So, but surely, by all accounts, with them really coming out and trying to fix this particular structure, one can really just imagine that it really points to a certain direction that they really want to act. But in terms of the funds, that's where the major challenge is.
All right, well, thanks very much for that update. Kailehle Khumalo live to us there from the M2 bridge.